Hi everybody, Al Bernstein here for the Boxing Channel alongside Steve Farhood, who not only is a great contributor to this channel, of course he will be announcing on our Showtime fights this weekend, our Showtime Extreme, and also working on the Showtime Championship show where we see Kell Brook finally come to America for a championship match. He's been here once before, taking on Shawn Porter in a fight that I personally think boxing fans have a lot of curiosity for.
No doubt. This is one of the best matchups of the year, and a matchup we've been waiting for, as you alluded to, forever. But Shawn Porter has just gotten better and better. So you start asking, what's the ceiling with this guy? Is he good enough that he could actually threaten a Mayweather down the road? Well, if he keeps improving, you can legitimately ask that question. And Kell Brook, because he's from England, he's only fought in America once. He's not as familiar, but you look at his record, 31-0, and he's fought some good people too, and he's been #1, promised the shot for a long time. And then stylistically, it's a fascinating matchup because we know Porter wants to be physical, get in close, and Kell Brook is more of a classic boxer. So in every which way, it's a fascinating matchup.
Yeah, and the international flavor, of course, and we have so many people watching in Great Britain now on this channel. The international flavor, to me, is really fascinating. It adds a dimension to this fight, I think, that makes it even more exciting.
Oh, no doubt. And, you know, there have not been a lot of British challengers who've come over and won in America. But you think back to Lloyd Hunnigan, who did it, and you think Lennox Lewis won some of his biggest fights in America. So I think we view British fighters a little bit differently than we did maybe 20 years ago. When you and I, 30 years ago when we started, they were viewed as no hopes. That's not the case anymore. They've had so many good fighters. And Kell Brook, even though he has that big undefeated 31-0 record, there are still some questions. He hasn't fought anyone as good as Shawn Porter. Let's put it that way.
And he admitted in our meeting, in our fighter meeting, that this is the best fighter that he's facing. It strikes me from a strategic standpoint, one of the big questions about this match is what happens when Shawn Porter starts that attack, that crazy attack that he comes with. Will Brook, who loves a certain pace in a fight, will he be able to handle that and counter effectively?
Yeah, that's the question. I think Paulie Malignaggi was very surprised by, not so much by the style with which Shawn Porter fought, but with the speed he had, because Paulie's usually the faster guy, and he wasn't that night. And Shawn Porter has very fast hands and very fast feet. That's what Kell Brook's going to have to deal with. And then the second question, which I think is always the case with Shawn Porter fights, the referee. He wants to be physical, he wants to get inside, he wants to be rough. How much does the ref let him do? How much does the ref start warning? You know, all that stuff can be a factor in the fight. Doesn't have to be, but can be a factor.
Yeah, and I believe Jack Reese is refereeing this fight, who is a very good referee, so we'll see how that plays itself out. The other aspect of this fight that I find interesting, and you've done so many Shawn Porter fights, not only here on the Championship Series, but on Showbox, where he got his start, is that Shawn Porter, who came down from middleweight, used to be a big football player that played at 170 pounds. He's now at 147. He's used to being the stronger guy. But it's possible Kell Brook might be just as strong or a stronger middleweight physically as him.
Yeah, when you look at Kell Brook, he's much taller than Shawn Porter. That's always the case. Porter's a short guy. But Brook is big. And I didn't ask him at the fighter meetings, but I meant to. What do you weigh in the ring? Because if he weighs in, he weighed in today, I think at 46 3/4, so right near the welterweight limit. But I won't be surprised if he's 160 in the ring. So you very well could be right. And that's something Shawn Porter I don't think has faced yet as a welterweight.
All right, so it'll be interesting on Saturday night, Shawn Porter and Kell Brook. It's a fight that I think the one thing we know is we're curious to see how it comes out.
Very, very interesting fight. The odds suggest it's a very, very close fight. And if Shawn Porter wins this one and looks as good as he's been looking lately, then you indeed have somebody that is not only a threat to Keith Thurman, but down the road could easily be a threat to Mayweather as well.
Yeah, and I'm salivating over a Keith Thurman-Shawn Porter fight. That's the one that I personally would love to see. So thanks to Steve Farhood. We'll have continued coverage of the match, including post-fight coverage, right here on the Boxing Channel.